Hello and welcome once again to Rostrevor Area News with Jarlath Tinley. I'll just remove my glasses because there's a bit of a glare off the screen. The first news item this week is I want to talk about the speed awareness signs that I finally managed to erect on the Newtown Road and the Kilbrony Road. Now, there was 4 signs in total. They're a robust and well-approved sign, and I was glad and very, very grateful for the sponsorship that I received for the first 4 signs from a number of local people who wish to remain anonymous. Now, the thing is this, I have no idea if the signs will make any difference, but as I put it out in a Facebook post last week, if those signs cause a driver to glance for a number of seconds and the message on the sign resonates with the driver, well then, as far as I'm concerned, the signs will have done their job. And I have to say, the feedback on the position of the signs has been excellent, and people have really welcomed them as an addition to 2 roads in the village, the Newtown Road and the Kilbrony Road, where there has been particular speeding problems over the past number of years. Moving on, we'll go straight into the Sembrona's club notes for the week. And just to let people know, Richie Reynolds is in a very peculiar position. Richie wears 2 hats, and he's going to be wearing both of them tonight. He's actually PRO for Sembrona's club and PRO for Rosson Fc as well. So we'll go with Sembrona's club notes first.
And welcome to Sembrona's notes for this week. Firstly, I'll start with the Senior Championship news. So the Men's Senior Championship will start next Thursday night, and Rostrevor's game will take place on Friday night at 6:30 in Castlewellan. All the Senior Championship games this season are all ticket. Due to the COVID situation, there will be limited numbers within each ground, so the county board will be allocating tickets to each club. Information about tickets will be released in due course, and we'd ask everyone to work with us on this. There is a streaming service provided by the county board for a number of games over the weekend and over each round. This weekend sees 2 games being streamed on Sunday and 1 being streamed on Monday. And also TG4 are covering the Cuckoo match on Friday night. The Ladies Senior Championship then will begin on the 22nd of August, and Rostrevor are in a group, so they'll have 3 group games over consecutive weeks, and then the knockout after that. So more information about those fixtures will be published on our social media. The results over the last week will be running along the screen at the bottom there. Just some notable wins for our under-11 boys, our under-13 boys, and our senior ladies on Saturday. So well done to them. Unfortunately, senior men were defeated by 1 point on Friday night, and there's no game for the senior men this week. There's a break of a week before the championship begins next week. Other fixtures for this week will be on the screen below, including the under-15s who are at home to Shamrock tomorrow night, Thursday at 7:15. And just to note that the Premier Reserve match on Saturday afternoon against Warren Point has been brought forward to 4 p.m. A lot of thanks to Scullion and Green solicitors, and specifically Brian Scullion, underage mentor, who have kindly contributed towards our mentor gear, the zip top and jersey that we're supplying to all of our coaches. So they've generously donated towards this, and we're very thankful as a club, and you'll see some photographs on social media over the coming days of Brian presenting the jerseys to the club. So once again, thank you very much to Brian and his colleagues at Scullion and Green Solicitor. As mentioned last week, the club Lotto returned last Thursday, the 30th of July. So the winning numbers last week were 2, 7, 26 and 28. We had a number of three number winners, no jackpot winner. So the jackpot this week is £3,600. So thanks to everyone who again contributed to the Lotto and bought a ticket, and we can encourage you to do so again through the shops or the bars or the online club funding. And thanks to Dermot and the team who got the club Lotto up and running. over the last week, there's been a message sent out to all of our members, playing and non-playing, about encouraging them to download the Stop COVID NI app, which is now available through the Google Play Store and the App Stores. Obviously, with track and trace becoming increasingly important, both within UAM and outside in everyday life, we'd just like to alert all of our members and the community to the app and to download it to help as much as possible to minimise the risk and keep everyone as safe as possible. Finally, another COVID-related point in terms of the club facilities. We received another update this week from the GAA in relation to club facilities. So any indoor facilities at the pitch, the hall, the gym, dressing rooms, all must remain closed until further notice. So I know there's been a lot of people asking about the gym and asking about the dressing rooms and maybe even the hall. But at the minute, until we get any further notice, all of those facilities will remain closed, and we will update everyone as soon as possible when we're allowed to open. Thanks, Jarlath. That's the roundup of some bonus notes for this week, and we'll be back next week.
And thank you once again, Richie. And could I just concur with your call there for people to consider downloading the COVID app onto their phones? It is all about the track and trace, and this thing, or this initiative, will only be a success if enough people sign up to make that happen. So thanks once again, Richie. Of course, a couple of the stories that you referenced there are relating to COVID and the consequences of COVID, and it really has taken over all aspects of all our lives, and that included the children in the primary school who had to temporarily forego the confirmation and Holy Communion dates in the springtime. But the good news is that there's now confirmed dates for both, and the confirmation, in fact, takes place next week over 3 nights. So on Monday, the 10th of August, it will be the turn of St. Brona's Primary School, and there's 2 services, one at 7 p.m. and one at 8 p.m. To enable them to put the social distancing measures in place and keep everybody safe. On Tuesday, the 11th, it's Kilbrony Integrated, and the service is at 7:30 p.m. in St Mary's Star of the Sea as well. And then on Wednesday, it's a turn of Killowen Primary School, which is also a 7:30 p.m. service. And although it's not in the bulletin, I had it confirmed today that the date for the Holy Communion is on September the 26th. So just on related parish notes, then, of course, the restrictions are still in place regarding the numbers. Father Kearns, anybody that has even a slight sniffle or is feeling a bit under the weather, he would advise not to attend any of the services. Instead, he would refer people to churchservices.tv/Rostrevor, where all the scheduled services are now broadcast live. So, next item on the agenda is a very exciting proposal that's taken place, or initiative that's taken place this coming Saturday, and the brainchild once again of local retired GP Henry McLaughlin. Now, I know Henry does volunteer in the hospice a number of days a week, and it's a place, of course, that is very dear to all our hearts. So Henry and 9 of his fellow local athletes are undertaking an incredible initiative this Saturday coming. Height for Hospice, it's called, and the intention is that the 10 cyclists will climb up to Slieve Martin 10 times each, 45,000 meters in total, or 150,000 feet in 2 hours. So the reason and the thinking behind this is that obviously the whole COVID period has hampered the fundraising and the ongoing fundraising efforts of the hospice. And this was just a novel way that Henry came up with to try and replenish funds for the great work that the hospice do. So there is a Just Giving page, and it's called Hate for the Hospice. And I would encourage anybody who possibly can donate to donate. And my very best wishes to the athletes who are all about to undertake that on Saturday. And I'll just run through them briefly. Leona Farrell, threes of par. Liz McLaughlin, Hugh Brennan, Tim Lewis, the local GP, Peter Nebelev, Paul Stewart, Brian Scullion, Rowan McMahon, Henry McLaughlin, and Eamon McConvey is the first reserve. So my very best wishes to them all. And I mean, they're putting in the pain on Saturday, so the people in the hospice can continue to be treated relatively pain-free. And it's a very, very noble undertaking, and I hope they raise a lot of money by doing what they're proposing to do. The next story I want to talk about is a number of weeks ago, I'd done a small feature on long-distance swimmer and local man Bill Donnelly and John McElroy, and they were due to swim from the Isle of Islay to the north coast whenever the window of opportunity allowed them to do so at some time over the summer. Now, that has not happened yet, but there's something extraordinary did happen last Saturday. The story goes that there was a lady actually swimming the North Channel, and she was attempting to do it in record time, and from Port Patrick over to Larne. And the story goes that the lady got into difficulties and was unable to complete her journey. Now, because the timekeepers and the record adjudicators and so on and so forth, and all the associated backup teams were already in place for this other unfortunate lady, they made a few calls to see would Bill and John and their mates that intend to do the Isle of Islay, they wanted to know, do they wish to step in and attempt to do it from Larne to Port Patrick, as you do, So Bill told me that he got a phone call on Saturday evening to present himself to Bangor if they're interested on Saturday night. But 9 p.m. he headed down the road. They all met up in Bangor. They jumped in on a rib and went up towards the coast to Larne. And he got into the water at approximately 3 a.m. Along with the rest of his team. They started off their relay, and they arrived in Port Patrick just before midday on the Sunday. And I mean, this was totally unexpected, and it was pretty much a spur of the moment effort. So Sunday then, of course, was Bill's birthday. So he was 53 last Sunday, and what a way to spend it. And Bill, my heartiest congratulations to you. Now, you were telling me that the Isle of Islay swim, you still have not been given the window for that, but if this was a core training ground for you, and your team, your relay team, ended up breaking the record, which has now been confirmed in just over 9 hours. So congratulations to yourself and John. And there's a wee short video here from Bill's wife, Jenny, and he'll be very embarrassed by this, but we'll put it up anyway.
Bill Donnelly, happy birthday.
Thank you very much, Jake.
Highland, Roderick Mallon, Keith Gary, legend, Colin, woohoo, Lindsay, crewman and trainee. Oh, shit. Well.
So there you go. So fair play to Bill. North Channel, treacherous stretch of water. Bill was telling me that the situation with the seemingly the man of war jellyfish are very docile at night, and he says he was just swimming through rivers of them, and thankfully they were sort of half asleep as well. So that was probably maybe one of the benefits of doing it during the middle of the night. But fair play to him. It's a core achievement. Now, the last story this week then is about Rosson Fc, who played of the Cabroni Park pitches in Rostrevor. Now, very, very briefly, Rosson haven't kicked the ball on their home pitch in over 10 months because, unfortunately, last year and through nobody's fault, it's just one of them things. The day of the car show, it was quite an inclement day weather-wise, and the soccer pitch, which was being utilised as a car park, got a wee bit cut up, or badly cut up, I should say. And as a result, Rosson were not able to play any games on the pitch since last October. So last Saturday, they had a home game against a Newry team, a challenge game, and I just thought I'd call down to wish them well for the season ahead, and also see what they were putting in place in regards to COVID mitigation. So again, here's Richie Reynolds. Richie's wearing his second PRO hat this evening for Rosson FC.
You join me here today, pitch side in Cabroni Park, and I'm joined here by Richie Reynolds, who is Rosson PRO and one of their star players. Richie, good to see you.
Thanks, Jarlath.
It's nearly 12 months from you kicked the ball in anger here in Cabroni Park. You must be absolutely delighted to get back.
Absolutely, Jarlath. It was a testing time over the last 12 months or so. Logistically and playing wise for the club. Obviously, when you lose your home pitch on the field, it's bad. But even travelling to and from the games and getting the group together and making sure the management were, knew who was at the pitch. You were turning up at pitches for home games, which wasn't ideal. You were meeting at the pitch, and there's just a lot of logistical factors that just weren't ideal over the last 12 months.
I can imagine. Of course, it was the damage done to the surface last year as a result of the car show. Unexpected damage and of course unintentional damage. However, it knocked out the vast majority of your home season, and you've just outlined there the problems that brings. Here we are today on the 1st of August. I know it's over 300 days from you actually kicked the ball here. You have a Newry team down today. This is a challenge game, isn't it?
Yeah. Second friendly game of the season against Ashgrove Rovers here. So last week we played up in Jennings Park because Cabroni wasn't actually open for other reasons, not for the surface, just because of council protocol.
Okay.
So we got it booked and we're allowed to play here this week. So hopefully good squad, 17 European there. So hopefully get everyone a run out today, and the two boys will make sure everyone gets at least 40 minutes, 45 minutes.
And of course, Richie, the last time you did play here, we lived in a much different world than we do now. And you have put measures in place to try and mitigate against the COVID situation. You have done something here behind the net, so we'll actually go over here and take a wee look and see what's going on, will we?
No problem.
Right. All right, Richie, sign here behind us, sanitising station. Just tell us exactly what's going on here.
Yeah, so IFA set out some protocols to all the clubs from junior, intermediate and senior about the return to play to minimise the risk for all players across the whole of the game in the country. And we have set up a sanitising station for our home game. So where we're playing at home, it's our sort of responsibility to look after our players and to offer any protocols to the away team as well. So we have a sanitising station here and the IFA guidance, which is given now to be ready to fight COVID-19. So it just gives some practical advice to players and supporters when they're allowed in. At the moment, they're not allowed in because we can't control the access to Cabroni. If you have a private pitch or your own stadium as such, you can control the access and you're allowed.
Fair enough.
Supporters.
Yes, and I think you have a table set up over here. Just take a wee look here, see what's going on here.
So every club then has a COVID officer who is in charge of the protocols and keeping the players and management officials in check. So we have a register for all the players and all the Rosson attendees at each match. There's a temperature check taken at the sanitising station as each member of the panel and management arrive. And then everyone is to sanitise their hands, and then there's bacterial wipes for the footballs and the equipment that the management use. So all of this stuff has been given out with IFA guidance. Now, the temperature thermometer checks weren't part of the protocol, but we thought as a club it was sort of to minimise the risk as much as possible and to protect our players, both senior and juvenile. We implemented the thermometer for temperature checks as well.
And this here, Richie, obviously this is the protocol for the home and away team. The players, no doubt, have really they've bought into this new way of doing things. This is the sort of thing you would expect to see now at every game you go to away.
Absolutely.
This season.
We would say every club will have to provide a facility for the home and away team to look after the sanitisation and all the protocols that you do in your day-to-day life. It's no different. It's more important actually when you have some sort of a contact sport or when you're in closer contact with people, I suppose, to make sure you're minimising the risk as much as you can before and after the event.
I suppose the thing is, it's always going to be easier to implement these mitigation measures pre-season, because if this health pandemic had visited us in the middle of the season, you were just coming to the tail end of it when things started to tighten down. I would imagine it would have been much tougher to get people to buy in to the new way of doing things. But
it definitely would have been, because you would have been in the middle of the season, as you say, and people wouldn't have been used to it. Now they've had 2 or 3 months of living a completely different way in the rest of their life, so they want to get back to sports. They'll do as much as they can to make it as safe for everyone as possible.
Well, Richie, listen, it just remains me to say to you, I wish you all the best for the incoming season, and you seem to have a fairly youthful and a fairly strong panel numbers wise, so all the best, and I hope you have a good year.
Thanks very much, Jarlath.
All right.
And my thanks once again there to Richie Reynolds from Rosson Fc, and congratulations to them for showing great leadership in relation to the COVID mitigation measures, and indeed to the rest of the Caribbean League, who are taking this thing very, very seriously. So, Cal, that's it for me for this week. Just to once again to let people know, anybody wants a shout out, requests or birthdays, or just to say hello to somebody, please feel free to contact me, and please God, I'll talk to you again next week. Thank you.